Well, good Thursday afternoon, everybody. Meteorologist Greg Majewski back with you here in the North Georgia Majestic Weather studios with your weather update here on your May the 28th, 2026. I'll see a few scattered showers as we wrap up our Thursday, and we had some sunshine as well. Temperatures on the warm side and muggy continuation of our forecast. We're going to see similar conditions tomorrow, though maybe a little more activity, especially late in the day as some activity kind of works in from the south. And it looks like the weekend, looking a little wet on there, especially on Saturday. And then, although we may get a brief cool down and dry weather for a couple days, it may not last long. I'm going to explain why, as we may have a little bit of a tropical influence of moisture coming in back in for the end of next week. Now, before we get rolling here, if you're new to our YouTube channel and you live anywhere across North Georgia, let me quickly introduce myself as your personal weatherman. I'm on a mission to build a professional 24-hour weather channel. I could sure use your help. It's all about the numbers, and it's real easy. It doesn't cost you anything. Just subscribe to the channel and make sure you hit that notification bell so you're alerted on future content, because the bigger audience we can get, the better advertisers and sponsors we can potentially attract and get that professional level equipment that I want to bring on board here. So again, thank you for your help. All right, let's go ahead and get into this update, shall we? As we take a live look there at Brasstown Bald, seeing some sunshine, some clouds, kind of a partly cloudy type day out there across North Georgia for today. Outside my backyard, also got some mix of sun and clouds here in Braselton, Georgia. Boy, it's warm out there, 88 degrees, very steamy out here in Braselton. And Lake Lanier also looking at similar conditions, partly sunny skies out there as well. Well, the big news weather-wise for today has to be the drought index that was updated today. This was a significant drop down. D3 and D4 levels dropped by some 20%. So that is a nice big stab, a nice reduction in the drought conditions. Now, of course, South Georgia is still dealing with a lot down there, a lot of a level 4 down this way, but we really cut down on the level 3 here across North Georgia, and I suspect that trend's going to continue because I don't see any extended dry periods coming our way, at least not anytime soon. Now, as we go and take a look at the radar again, we're getting some spotty showers out there for this afternoon. As you can see some of this activity over into Bartow County near Canton. You're seeing some showers there. Dawsonville got a little wet as well with some showers. Again, spotty activity. That's what we were expecting for today. And tomorrow, maybe a little more activity, but it's going to be coming from the opposite direction. I'll show you the models here in just a second to kind of support that. Looking at the regional radar, or satellite, I should say, you look at all these thunderstorms back here toward Mississippi and Alabama and over toward Arkansas and Louisiana. Some pretty good hefty storms. You see the flow coming this way out of the south, and just kind of a mix of sun and clouds here across North Georgia here on your Thursday afternoon. Looking at your regional radar, things warming up into the 80s. We do have kind of weak high pressure here, and I do mean weak here across Alabama and Georgia. This frontal system is backdooring coming down this way here for us, so we're going to see an easterly wind develop here for tomorrow. And then at the same time, we're going to see some moisture kind of come in this way over the top of that. So we're going to see some rains extending into tomorrow night and going into your Saturday. Now, with that being said, we are going to be tracking a general thunderstorm threat, but I want to be clear, we're not tracking anything severe at this time. So you might see a special weather statement with an isolated strong thunderstorm or two, but nothing severe. This is, of course, wrapping up your Thursday, going into your Friday, still a lot of green there, and going into your Saturday. So no big changes here, just general thunderstorm threat here over the next 3 days. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at the latest model data here as we're going to be kind of checking out the forecast here going into your Sunday. This will take us into the weekend, so we get an idea what to expect here. So what we're looking at here is going to be the rapid. It's called the Rapid Refresh Forecast System, experimental model. It kind of gives you an extrapolation of what the radar is going to be, and you kind of get an idea if we're seeing scattered stuff out there for this afternoon. So, again, watch that timestamp there in the upper right-hand corner as we kind of go through time. Things settle down for tonight. It'll be quiet with some clouds around. You notice this boundary kind of sitting up in here on your Friday morning. So this is going to kind of work its way back to the north, especially later in the day. So this is 4 o'clock. Most of North Georgia looks good, but look how it comes back up going into the night. So it looks like the best rain chances will be coming in, going into tomorrow evening and tomorrow night. And then it kind of fizzles down, kind of sits there for a little while. And then we'll see some more activity. Watch out and see if we go into your Saturday. Boom. Yeah, Saturday's looking kind of wet as well with some showers and storms there as well. So wet going late Friday night. Looks like Saturday's a bit wet. And then this model's actually a little drier here on Sunday. It's actually got storms East Tennessee, Alabama, but nothing across North Georgia. We'll see. I still got the rain chance in there for Sunday, about 50-50 chance, but this model's staying pretty much on the dry side. We'll see if that holds going in for tomorrow. Now, because of that weak wedge, you notice the rainfall totals up here across Northeast Georgia. Not that much. That's because they're a little more stable, but you can see where the wetter conditions are across Northwest Georgia and sitting down here towards South Georgia. So still some pretty decent gully washers with some of those storms that'll pop out into the afternoon. Looking at your temperatures here, let's go look at that again. Your Friday afternoon temperature highs, mostly 70s and 80s once again. I think will be a few degrees cooler tomorrow, predominantly because of that easterly wind that'll be kind of setting up in here. And, of course, cloud cover and those scattered storms that look like they'll be coming in a little bit later tomorrow and into tomorrow night. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at your forecast maps. I want you to kind of watch that yellow highlighter there as we kind of go through the days of the week. This is from the National Weather Service here as we go into your Friday. So there's that frontal boundary kind of stuck around there. This high is going to be getting into a wedge position here. So we'll get a weak wedge in here as we go in throughout the day tomorrow. So it'll be kind of sit there for a little bit and then kind of break down. Then we're going to get another one here. Watch as we go into next week's here. So there's another high sneaking into the northeast once again, going into Sunday. So we'll have an easterly wind building back in here once again on Sunday with some rain, and then we'll see how this wraps up. Looks like we're going to have the rain linger into Monday. Still got some rain chances there. Tuesday, we should start to see things dry out, okay? Right now, I'm taking the rain chance out for Tuesday. I'm keeping this kind of dry. Wednesday's looking pretty good, and Thursday's also looking pretty good. Look at a big high over the mid-Atlantic. And we'll have to watch what's going on down here in the tropics as we might have some problems down there. I'm going to show you the European model on this to explain what I'm talking about here on this. So as we go on through. So I'm going to go back over here to the model data once again, and we're going to take a look at the model here going into the European. This is the latest European. Just came in, and I want to show you how this is going to play out. So again, there's your rain on Saturday as this comes on through. You see it's still looking wet. It's on Saturday. On Sunday, still look at some rains there on Sunday as well in the European model, where the other model was kind of clear. So, and then we see a backdoor front coming in here on Tuesday. So Tuesday's looking clear. So Tuesday, I don't have any rain in here. I got to clear it on out for Tuesday. Notice this moisture back out here in the Gulf. There's been several disturbances that have been showing up on the computer models, sneaking back out of the Gulf. So this comes up northward, gets into Louisiana, Mississippi, and look what happens as this thing starts to spread off to the east by the time we get to Thursday, coming back in Alabama. So I'm going to crease the clouds on Thursday, and this may bring us a wet and rainy weekend up in here going into Friday, Saturday, Sunday of the following week. So we may only get a couple days of dry weather before we have wet and rainy weather, tropical weather at that. And when I say that, it means definitely very tropical, moisture-laden like we just had. So we could see the return of some heavier rains going into that following weekend. Of course, that's a long-range projection, so we'll continue to monitor that quite closely. All right, let's look at your forecast here for Friday. So 79-66, scattered thunderstorms there. For the north you go, a little less activity, maybe like 30%. For the south you go, maybe 50-60% south of Gainesville, heading down toward the Atlanta area, because obviously that stuff's coming in from the south. So that's just how that works out for the late afternoon. So looking at some isolated storms here this evening, it should die down. It will be a bit muggy. If you do get any rain, you might get a little bit of fog in the morning like we had this morning. And then we'll see temperatures in the northeast Georgia area in the upper 70s and low 80s. So a little bit cooler for your Friday than what we saw on your Thursday because of cloud cover and that weak wedge across the northeast. Notice the northeast winds up to 20 miles per hour, especially up toward Gainesville, Cornelia, Dahlonega, Clayton, that zone up in there. Dealing with that weak wedge coming in there. All right, so here comes our regional forecast. Look at Asheville, Charlotte, and Columbia. Pretty nice. Low humidity, sunshine. Should be pretty good there with that weak high building up that way. 85 in Columbus, 85 in Jackson, as well as New Orleans, and 82 in Memphis. Again, we got the rain scattered all about the southeast. Here we go with the next 7 days. So here we go. High rain chance on Saturday, 80%. Sunday's got that 40%. Monday looks like maybe the morning time, maybe showers, thunderstorms, maybe clearing out later in the afternoon there. And then looking pretty nice. Look at that Tuesday and Wednesday. We're talking lows. We got Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday down around 60. That means we'll have some 50s across North Georgia. Low humidity. That's going to feel pretty nice, especially by June standards. And then Thursday, you got the clouds coming back at us, obviously, if that moisture comes back at us as advertised. So we get the rain chances through Monday. We get a couple of dry days, and then we're back to what looks like a wet and rainy pattern going into the following weekend, at least the way it's currently looking. Now, with all this rain and thunderstorm activity, you want to be prepared, folks. You want to download our free North Georgia Majestic Weather app. It's free. There's the QR code there for the Apple Store on top. Google Play there on the bottom for you Android users. Go ahead and take a snapshot of that. Download that app. It's a great tool. It'll alert you when there's rain in the area. It'll let you know when there's lightning nearby. It will also give you like a future cast showing you where the rain is projected to go over the next hour by hour forecast. Obviously, it'll alert you for any severe weather. It is a great tool. We're going to make this app better through time as we bring up some additional capabilities here on our website redesign and some forecast products that we're going to add to it, including our streaming channel, which will also go on the app as well. So again, looking a little bit unsettled here for the weekend, unfortunately. Looks like Sunday's probably the better of the 2 days, and then we got a couple of really nice days ahead next week, and we're going to watch the tropics very interestingly to see if we get any additional moisture influx coming into the southeast going in toward the end of next week. Again, I appreciate you guys checking us out here on the YouTube channel. Please give us a subscribe if you can, and very importantly, you got to hit that notification bell, because if you don't, YouTube will not let you know that we have updated our forecast, nor alert you on when we're perhaps doing some live severe weather coverage when warranted. All right, that's it for today. You guys take it easy, be good, stay safe, and we'll see you tomorrow for the weekend edition. Until then, y'all enjoy the rest of your day. Bye-bye.